What's up, YouTube? It's Scotty with Evel KeStriegel. I'm back with another mountain bike review. This time I'm reviewing my own personal bicycle. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I wanted to kind of do a long-term review of my personal bike, the 2022 Intense Primer 29. Picked this bike up a little less than a year ago. Been riding it now throughout last summer and through this whole winter and now into spring. So figured it'd be a good time to talk about the bike, why I chose the bike, what I think about the bike overall. Coming off of a Ibis Ripmo V2 carbon the last couple of years. So let's look at the bike. I'll talk about it a little bit, about the build, just kind of give a refresher, and then we'll show some footage of it riding, and I'll try and talk as I'm breathing heavily. Sorry, I'm working the winter off here. So let's check the bike out. So this is my 2022 Intense Primer 29. It's got a little over a year on it. I have really liked this bike for the most part. I don't know what I'm gonna do next, if I keep it for the rest of the season or what I'm gonna do. So I went with the stock suspension setup on this bike in particular. I could have spec'd it out higher if I wanted to, but I have not ever been a fan of the Fox factory stuff. If you watch the channel, you know I ran DVO on my Ripmo and really liked that. So I decided to just try out this Fox performance and been really happy with it. I would say that's probably the thing I'm happiest about on this bike. That decision was staying with the Fox performance. Plush feeling a little simpler. Don't get lost in the weeds adjusting it. Really like that. I did upgrade the drivetrain from the NX because I've had bad luck with that in the past. Went with XO1 carbon cranks, XO1 derailleur. It's been all right. I'm a Shimano guy, not gonna lie. And I did go with Raceface cockpit up here. Just, it was nice looking at it. Matched my i9 wheel set with the Stans Flows aluminum wheels, because I do like to punish my bicycles. Ask the local bike shop. This has got the Hydra Hub, and I did put my Saint quad piston calipers and brake levers off my Ripmo. Kept them on here. I like my brakes to be really grabby. So that's the build in a nutshell. All right, bombing a hill. So, not the reason I bought this bike was attacking downhills. I actually bought it because I wanted something that was a little shorter travel and lighter than my Ripmo. It'll be a little better on climbs and the cross-country trails we've got around here. But still capable when I go to places like O'Bannon Woods, Brown County, where stuff's a little chunkier and jumpier. And I think for the most part, the Intense is really good at the chunky stuff. Actually, I might prefer it over the Ripmo, which is odd to say. But it's really good at the stuff like we're riding here. Where it actually loses, I think, is efficiency on climbing. I think it's definitely slower at that. So the bike hasn't really fulfilled what I bought it for, although I do like it. Get through here. So out here mid-trail thoughts as I'm riding it and kind of collecting my thoughts on the Intense and how I felt long-term about it. I like the bike. I think I made 2 mistakes. I think I probably would have went with a size large to give you a more honest opinion on really how I feel about it, because I'm not doing the bike, I think, its due service, or giving it its due, just because it's just a hair too small, I think, for me. I'm 5'10", so I kind of float between medium and large, and I figured I'd try a smaller bike because I just wanted to stay a little lighter, and the bike's really not lighter. I think it's about the same as my Ripmo. So there's a few things I think I would change. Going back, rewind a little bit, when I was building this thing out, I love the way it's built. It's the prettiest bike I've ever owned. And it's really fun on chunky downhill, which is not what I bought it for. I wish it climbed a little better. I can't say that like I'm not a fan of the bike, though. I like it. I think if you're a guy that really wants to send it, wants a bike that does climb good, does not climb as efficiently as a Ripmo, I'm not going to tell you that it does. But if you want to support a cool company, I think Intense is a really cool company. They support motocross. You know, I'm a motocross fan. So that's another reason I was excited to buy an Intense. And I think I just bought the wrong bike for what I wanted to do. I basically bought another Ripmo with just like 10 millimeter shorter travel. So maybe a Sniper T is what I probably should have bought if I was going to go Intense. I don't know, you know, I wish I could turn back time. But I love this bike. I just think that I need something a little bigger, longer reach rather, and something that's maybe just a hair lighter for what I want to do personally. Because I've got a downhill bike now, so I don't really need a big Cindy bike. But maybe if I get into enduro racing, I'll keep this thing another year. We'll see how it goes. But that's kind of my thoughts on the Intense Primer. Just kind of my short thoughts. I'll ride it a little bit more here. I'll show you just more trail thoughts, and then we'll close it out. So we're gonna go through this rough section. Well, actually, we gotta turn around. This trail's closed, I just found out. So we're gonna turn around and go up another awful climb, and I'll talk about it climbing, and then we'll close out the video. So, all right. Okay. So this upcoming trail was the main reason that I actually got off of the Ripmo and wanted to get on a trail bike. And it may have been a mistake, because the Ripmo still holds my record for the fastest climb up this hill. Hey, how's it going, man?
Great.
This is called Hogan's Fountain Climb up here. It's kind of a chunky tech climb, popular here in the Louisville, Kentucky area. We're gonna grind on this thing today and see how it does. See you at the top. Okay. I'll try my best to find my time on the Ripmo. Whew, pushed on that one. I think it's gonna be slow. All right, more of what the primer is actually good at. Rough downhill. I guess it's not that shocking. They are primarily a downhill bike manufacturer. And this bike is really good at this stuff. So good, actually. Just rode my downhill bike yesterday, and this bike feels almost as capable. Oh, that was awesome. Now into the tech, which the primer is also good at. Just not a climber. But I guess if you want a climber and you want to buy an intense, buy a sniper. If you want an enduro bike and you don't want the big tracer, I think the primer is a good option. Or the Primer S with the 160 fork up front. I've got the 150 on this. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it's not all about being efficient, you know. Me, it's beautiful out. I'm actually having a really good time on the primer today. Maybe it's because I'm coming off my big 42-pound downhill bike. But this thing feels really snappy. Whew. All right, I'm gonna have some more fun, guys. I guess. In summation, I'll just say the primer has its proper placement. It's not a cross-country bike, obviously, and it's really maybe more on the enduro side than it is on the trail bike side that I thought it was when I bought it. So, you know, one of the good thing is you can find really good deals on these bikes, and you do not need to upgrade the suspension. In my opinion, Fox Performance works great, and I think it's more plush feeling than the factory stuff. Just my opinion. Right here's where I noticed one thing I don't like about the primer. It's tight corners like that, steep. It likes to wheelie, and I think that's the seat tube angle being slacker than the Ripmo I came off of. The Ripmo, you could just stay seated and pedal, and the front wheel always felt planted. But it really doesn't feel like that on the primer. Like I had to stand up. Sometimes I feel like I have to stand up and crank on the primer and get my weight over the front to try and get the same performance like the Ripmo, which means I'm exerting more energy, which I'm sure you can hear that in my voice. So yeah, I think I'm I'm an Ibis guy. I've had two now, and I wanted to try the Intense, and I might try another Intense. I'm not saying I won't, but I've got my eye on a few other bikes. Nuke Proof Reactor is one. Pivot Trail 429 is another. Or maybe a Pivot Switchblade, or maybe another Ripmo. I don't know. What do you all think I should get? Let me know in the comments if you're watching this far down what I should try next. And if anyone's interested, there might be an Intense available soon. Really sick bike. Just not for the application I needed it for, I don't think. Leave it on the comments, guys. It's been Scotty with Evel KeStriegel. I'm a little winded. I'll check you later.